Of Modern Poetry, by Wallace Stevens is a reflective poem that explores the nature and purpose of contemporary poetry. In this work, Stevens delves into how modern poetry must adapt to new realities and address the needs of the current age. Stevens begins by stating that modern poetry must redefine itself. Unlike classical poetry, which had fixed themes and forms, modern poetry must be dynamic and responsive to the contemporary world. It needs to reinvent its subject matter and methods to resonate with the present times. The poem suggests that modern poetry must go beyond traditional subjects. It must find what will suffice for the current audience. This involves an ongoing search for meaning in an ever-changing world. Poetry should be attuned to the complexities of modern life and address the concerns of modern individuals. Stevens likens modern poetry to a theatrical performance that must take place within the mind. This internal stage is where the drama of modern existence unfolds. The poet must be both playwright and actor, creating and performing a piece that engages the reader's intellect and emotions. In this new framework, the poet is tasked with understanding and articulating the experiences of modern life. The poet's role is to capture the fleeting moments of reality and transform them into something meaningful. This involves a deep engagement with the world and a keen awareness of the nuances of human experience. Stevens emphasizes that modern poetry must be grounded in reality. It should reflect the true nature of the world, including its hardships and uncertainties. This means moving away from idealized or abstract representations and focusing on the concrete details of everyday life. The poem argues that modern poetry must be of the present. It should not rely on outdated forms or archaic language. Instead, it should use the language and rhythms of contemporary speech. This makes poetry more accessible and relevant to the modern reader. Stevens suggests that the search for meaning is central to modern poetry. In a world where traditional values and beliefs are often questioned, poetry must help individuals navigate their existential uncertainties. It should provide a sense of order and understanding amidst the chaos of modern life. Modern poetry, according to Stevens, must strike a balance between emotional depth and intellectual rigor. It should evoke feelings and provoke thought, engaging both the heart and the mind. This dual engagement is what makes poetry a powerful tool for exploring and interpreting the human condition. Stevens envisions modern poetry as a living entity that evolves with the times. It is not static but continually adapts to new circumstances. This adaptability is essential for poetry to remain relevant and meaningful in a rapidly changing world. Stevens reaffirms the transformative power of modern poetry. He envisions it as a vital force that can help individuals make sense of their lives. Modern poetry, in his view, should be a reflection of the present and a guide for the future, providing insight and solace in an uncertain world. Of Modern Poetry is a profound meditation on the role and purpose of poetry in the modern era. Stevens articulates a vision of poetry that is dynamic, relevant, and deeply engaged with the realities of contemporary life. Through this poem, he challenges poets to rethink their craft and embrace the complexities of the modern world.